The Great Escape: Why Black Women Entrepreneurs Are Fleeing Corporate America. Welcome. Thank you all for being here today. I want to begin by acknowledging the remarkable woman whose insights form the foundation of my talk today, Joann Dilworth. As a visionary advocate for Black women entrepreneurs, Joann has spent over 15 years documenting, supporting, and amplifying the voices of women who have transformed necessity into opportunity. Her groundbreaking research has changed how we understand the intersection of race, gender, and economic empowerment in America. Through her nonprofit work and policy advocacy, she's helped secure over $50 million in funding for Black women owned businesses and has personally mentored more than 300 entrepreneurs. Joann doesn't just study these patterns, she actively works to disrupt them. Now, let me ask you a question that might challenge what you think you know. What if I told you that the most celebrated entrepreneurial success story in America today, the explosive growth of Black women owned businesses, isn't actually a success story at all? What if it's actually a damning indictment of our workplaces, our economy, and our culture? Let that sink in for a moment. We've all seen the headlines celebrating Black women as the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in America, starting businesses at 6 times the national average, demonstrating remarkable resilience and determination. It's framed as an inspirational narrative of ambition and achievement. But there's a darker truth beneath these statistics, one that should make us deeply uncomfortable. For countless Black women, entrepreneurship isn't a choice born from privilege or opportunity. It's an escape route, a survival strategy, the only viable path forward after being systematically excluded, undervalued, and pushed out of traditional workplaces. The data is staggering. In just the last 8 months, over 300,000 Black women have left corporate jobs, a mass exodus not seen in any other demographic group. This isn't simply about pursuing dreams. This is about fleeing environments that were never built to support their full humanity. Between 2014 and 2019, Black women owned businesses grew by an astonishing 50%, the highest rate of any female demographic. On the surface, this appears to be unequivocal progress. But when we look deeper, we see a more complex and troubling reality. I recently spoke with Tanya, a former marketing executive who now runs her own consulting firm. Her words cut to the heart of this issue. I didn't leave my corporate job to follow my passion. I left because staying meant continuing to shrink myself, continuing to be overlooked for promotions, and continuing to earn less than my counterparts. Starting my business wasn't just about freedom, it was about survival. This reality forces us to reconsider what we mean when we talk about choice in career paths, when the options are limited to either entrepreneurship or remaining in environments that undervalue your contributions and undermine your well being. Is that truly a choice? The pandemic only accelerated this trend. As workplaces became even more inflexible and economic pressures mounted, Black women were disproportionately affected by job losses and reduced hours. Many found themselves at a crossroads and created their own path forward through entrepreneurship. Let me be clear, I am in awe of these women and their achievements. Today, there are over 12 million women owned businesses in the United States, generating more than $1.8 trillion in annual revenue and employing over 10.7 million workers. Black women are at the forefront of this economic transformation. But my admiration doesn't blind me to the systemic failures that made their journey necessary. We cannot celebrate their resilience without confronting why resilience was required in the first place. So, what makes success possible for these entrepreneurs despite the obstacles they face? Joann's research points to three critical factors. First, community has proven essential. The Black Women's Business Network Expo and similar conferences provide crucial resources, mentorship, and connection for entrepreneurs who might otherwise feel isolated. These gatherings offer workshops, master classes, and networking opportunities that fill gaps left by mainstream business networks. Keisha, who founded a thriving tech company after leaving a senior position at a Fortune 500 firm, told me, for the first time, I was in a room full of women who understood exactly what I was facing, not just as the business owner, but as a Black woman business owner. That distinction matters, and the strategies I learned were tailored to my specific challenges. These conferences now attract thousands annually with measurable improvements in business outcomes and leadership representation. They've built a robust ecosystem that empowers Black women to thrive in entrepreneurial spaces. Second, resilience has become both a strength and a necessity. Black women entrepreneurs have demonstrated remarkable adaptability in the face of challenges, pivoting their business models during economic downturns, leveraging technology to reach new markets, and supporting their families and communities even as they build their ventures. But Joanne cautions us against romanticizing this resilience without acknowledging its cost. We celebrate Black women for being strong and overcoming obstacles, she notes, but we rarely ask why they face so many obstacles in the first place. Resilience shouldn't be a requirement for success, it should be an asset. This brings us to the third factor: advocacy for systemic change. The most successful Black women entrepreneurs aren't just building their own businesses, they're actively working to create more inclusive environments for those who come after them. They're advocating for policy reform, mentoring younger entrepreneurs, and using their platforms to highlight persistent inequities. As Maya, who built a seven-figure beauty brand after experiencing discrimination at a major cosmetics company, told Joann, I'm building this business for myself, yes, but also for my daughter and her generation. I want them to have real choices, not just the choice between struggling in a toxic workplace or striking out on their own. This perspective shifts our understanding of what's at stake. The entrepreneurial success of Black women isn't just about individual achievement, it's about creating alternative models of work and leadership that value the full humanity of all participants. The implications extend far beyond any single demographic group. When we examine why Black women are leaving traditional workplaces in such numbers, we uncover systemic issues that affect everyone: inflexible work arrangements, lack of advancement opportunities, cultures that penalize authenticity, and leadership that fails to recognize diverse contributions. By addressing these issues, we create better workplaces for everyone. As Joanne puts it, the canary in the coal mine isn't just warning us about danger, it's showing us the way out. So, what does this mean for how we support Black women entrepreneurs and how we think about work more broadly? First, we need to recognize entrepreneurship as both an opportunity and a necessity. This means celebrating the achievements of Black women business owners while simultaneously working to create traditional workplaces where they can thrive if they choose that path. Second, we must invest in the support systems that make entrepreneurial success possible. This includes expanding access to capital. Black women receive less than 1% of venture capital funding despite their entrepreneurial activity, as well as strengthening mentorship networks and business development resources. Third, we need to reimagine what inclusive workplace truly look like. This goes beyond diversity statements to fundamental questions about how work is structured, how performance is evaluated, and how leadership is developed and recognized. The story of Black women entrepreneurs offers us a powerful lens through which to examine these questions. Their experiences highlight both the persistent barriers in our current systems and the incredible potential that's unleashed when people are able to create work environments aligned with their values and needs. I want to leave you with this challenge today. What if we stopped asking Black women to adapt to broken systems and started building systems worthy of their talents? What if entrepreneurship became truly optional? A path chosen from genuine desire rather than desperate necessity? What if we recognize that the mass exodus of Black women from corporate America isn't their failure, but ours? This isn't just about creating more Black women entrepreneurs, though their contributions are invaluable. It's about creating a world where Black women don't have to become entrepreneurs just to be treated with dignity and given opportunity. The next time you hear about the inspiring rise of Black women entrepreneurs, I want you to feel both admiration and outrage. Admiration for what these women have built against tremendous odds, and outrage at the systems that made those odds so steep in the first place. Your challenge, our collective challenge, is to use whatever influence you have to create spaces where Black women don't have to choose between survival and success, but can thrive authentically wherever they choose to apply their talents. Because a system that pushes out its most resilient members isn't just failing them, it's failing all of us. Thank you.